I have a short little video slide of several presidential candidates because we, the Democratic Party, that being, like eviscerated ourselves. Like Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton supporters were at each other's throats so bad it cost us the election. And we need to figure out a way to not do that. So I am just doing this. I'm doing a little sort of experiment where I just looked up several candidates and tried to find something I really liked about them. So that whichever candidate we end up going with, I will have my preference, but I'll have something good to say about all of them. Kind of a walk around the classroom and say something nice about all the students type deal. And Kirsten Gillibrand, I looked on her website and every single policy that she talked about had a lot of morality behind it. She put a lot of thought into why she wanted things, and I liked that. It was really cool to see. So if you look on her website, you'll sort of see what I mean. She had this thing called Restoring Universal Values or something like that. And all it was an itemized list of things that she wanted to see in government that took care of people. And it was awesome. Tulsi Gabbard has a really, really strong vision and action plan for dealing with climate change really quickly, which is probably the most important thing we can do right now. And she just wants to replace all oil with renewable energy by 2035 by giving people jobs and changing our broken infrastructure, which is killing like 3 birds with 1 stone. So good on her. I really like that plan. Cory Booker was mayor of Newark, and he helped that city a lot. It had a really high crime rate, and he did several things to actually lower it, and he did really well. And I think that he would make a good president. Bernie Sanders has been doing the SJW thing for decades before it was cool. He's awesome. He really does stand for it, for people, and he's proven it time and again. And he'd be a great president. Kamala Harris is really cool. I like her. I'm from California, so I'm a little biased, but she her mom died, and it gave her a lot. It made accessible healthcare matter a lot to her. I read a thing that she wrote, and I just know that if she was elected, it would be her personal mission to make sure that everybody in the country has accessible healthcare, and that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. She's really cool. Elizabeth Warren got into government because she studied bankruptcy law. So she knows exactly how the rich have been screwing us over. And, she's basically telling us that it's going to be okay because they taste like pork. She's a fan of the 2% wealth tax, which is really important because income tax doesn't actually mean that much when you're as rich as the top 1%. A lot of their stuff comes from capital and other places. And if you tax wealth rather than income, you can actually get a chunk of that. Pete Buttigieg has a really broad vision for like everything. He was mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and he got reelected with like 80% of the vote. So they liked him, which makes me feel better. But I also saw some of the stuff he wanted to do, and it was really cool. He has a thorough idea of what we should be doing to combat a lot of problems that we have right now. And then obviously this is the candidate I'm going to vote for. He's got a boot on his head, and if he gets elected, everybody will have a free pony. He's got a zombie protection plan that's also a renewable energy plan that uses the latest in hamster wheel technology, and he is by far my favorite candidate.